Hi everyone, myself Arindam and I'm a legal intern at Lexis & Company, and today we'll be discussing on the topic of emergency. That is very much related to the Constitution of India. So state of emergency in India refers to a period of governance that can be proclaimed by the President of India during certain crisis situations under the advice of the Cabinet of Ministers. The President can overrule many provisions of the Constitution which guarantees fundamental rights to the citizens. The emergency provisions are contained in Part 18 of the Constitution of India, from Article 352 to Article 360. These provisions enable the central government to meet any abnormal situation effectively. The rationality behind the incorporation is to safeguard the sovereignty, unity, integrity and security of the country. Now, the democratic political system and also the Constitution. So, the Constitution stipulates three types of emergency. The first is the national emergency, the second is the constitutional emergency, and the third is the financial emergency. So, what is the national emergency? National emergency can be declared on the basis of war, external aggression, or armed rebellion. The Constitution employs the expression proclamation of emergency to denote the emergency of this type. Under Article 352, the President of India can declare a national emergency when the security of India or a part of it is threatened by war or external aggression or armed rebellion. The President can declare a national emergency even before the actual occurrence of a war or armed rebellion or an external aggression. When a national emergency is declared on the ground of war or external aggression, it is known as external emergency. On the other hand, when it is declared on the grounds of armed rebellion, it's called internal emergency. The term armed rebellion is inserted from the 44th Amendment. Before this term, it was known as internal disturbances. Example, if India and Pakistan openly accepts that they will use armed force against each other, is simply war. So the 38th Amendment of 1975 made the declaration of national emergency immune to judicial review. But this provision was subsequently deleted by the 44th Amendment of 1978. In Minerva Mills case, in the year 1980, the Supreme Court held the national emergency can be challenged in the court on the ground of a malafide, or that the declaration was based on wholly extraneous and irrelevant facts. Parliamentary approval and duration. The proclamation of emergency may be approved by both the Houses of Parliament within 1 month from the date of its issue. However, if the proclamation of an emergency survives until 30 days from the first sitting of the Lok Sabha and after its reconstitution provided by the Rajya Sabha has in its meantime approved it. If approved by both the houses, the emergency continues for 6 months and can be extended to an indefinite period with the approval of the Parliament for every 6 months. Every resolution approving the proclamation of emergency at any time by a subsequent proclamation, such proclamation does not require a parliamentary approval. Now the emergency must be revoked if the Lok Sabha passes a resolution by a simple majority disapproving its continuation. Now the effects of national emergency. A proclamation of national emergency has a drastic and a wide-ranging effects on the Indian political system. These consequences can be grouped into three categories. Effects on the center-state relations. While a proclamation of emergency is in force, the normal fabric of the central-state relation undergoes a basic change. This can be studied on three heads: executive, legislative and financial. So executive. Center becomes entitled to give executive directions to any state or any matter. Legislative. The parliament becomes empowered to make laws on any subjects mentioned herein by the parliament becomes mentioned. List the president can issue ordinance on state subjects also if the parliament is not in session. The laws made on state subjects by the parliament becomes inoperative 6 months after the emergency has ceased to be in operation. Now the final one, the financial part. So the president can modify the constitutional distribution of revenues between the center and the states. Now what is the effect of Lok Sabha and the state assembly? While a proclamation of a national emergency is in its operation, the life of a Lok Sabha may be extended beyond the normal term for 1 year at a time. Now, however, this is extension cannot continue beyond a period of 6 months and after the emergency has ceased to operate. Similarly, the parliament may extend the normal tenure of a state legislative assembly by 1 year each time during a national emergency, subject to a maximum period of 6 months after emergency has ceased to operate. Now, the effects of fundamental rights, effects on fundamental rights. So, Article 358 and 359 describes the effect of national emergency on the fundamental rights. These two provisions are explained below. Suspension of fundamental rights under Article 19. According to Article 358, when a proclamation of national emergency is made, the 6 fundamental rights under the Article 19 are automatically suspended. Article 19 is automatically revived after the expiry of the emergency. The 44th Amendment Act laid down that Article 19 can only be suspended when the national emergency is laid on the grounds of war or external aggression and not in the case of armed rebellion. Suspension of other fundamental rights. Under Article 359, the President is authorized to suspend by order the right to move any court for the enforcement of fundamental right during a national emergency. Thus, remedial measures are suspended and not the fundamental rights. Now, the suspension could be for the period during the operation of emergency or for a shorter time. The order should be laid before each houses of the parliament for approval. And the 44th Amendment mandates that the President cannot suspend the right to move the court for the enforcement of fundamental rights guaranteed by Article 20 and Article 21. So these articles remain in force although in a state of a national emergency. So this was all about state emergency and national emergency. I hope it was clear. Please do like and subscribe to our channel, and if you have any queries, please do comment below in the comment box and I'll be answering your queries. Thank you.